The dark empath. Is there such a thing? And if there is, what is it? So without further ado, let's get into it. Hi, and welcome back. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Claire Attio. To returning subscribers, thank you, thank you, thank you. The dark empath, does it exist? I believe so. I believe a dark empath is a soul that is so fragmented and so in such torment and such pain that it has no ability to connect with source energy, but has a need for that energy. And so it takes it from somebody else. And this is where your energy vampires come in. I believe a dark empath is actually either a narcissist or is very high up the spectrum of narcissistic tendencies. And I say this because for anybody that is actually being involved with somebody with heavy narcissistic tendencies or is a narcissist, you will know that actually in that gaslighting stage that they go through, because they put you through different stages, they are immensely intuitive. They are immensely have a great capacity to feel into the energies and assess those energies, just as empaths does. And there is a school of thought, and one that I'm actually agree with, that a lot of the empathic gifts that we have, that ability to read the energies, that fine tuning, as it were, to read a room and read people, stems from our own pain, our own need to feel secure and safe. And so we very quickly learn as young children, because we are so highly sensitive, to attune ourselves to those energies, learn to read the energies very quickly. And I don't know about you, but it made me uncomfortable to think about that to begin with, because we all kind of like, oh yeah, empath, isn't it lovely? Aren't we so lucky? We're so gifted, and not in an egoic sense, but in a privileged sense. And it is a privilege, but I think we also have to take ownership of the fact that it's because of that high sensitivity within us and those gut instincts of danger when we were children. What can we say? What can't we say? What's safe? What isn't safe? That we quickly learn to attune those gifts very quickly. We learn to attune them, and then obviously we home in on that. And for many years, until we start the healing journey, we inevitably read a room, and there could be 100 people in there and 99 people perfectly fine, but we will home in on the one where their energy is negative, where their energy is heavy, where their energy is like alert, and we steer clear of that. And so it stands to reason, if you have somebody that is that alert, and yet they have gone through so many traumatic events that their soul is so fragmented that they have an emptiness in there. They get to a point where they don't want to feel any more pain, and so it stands to reason that they would switch themselves off, which is very much the narcissist. They switch their compassion off, but they still need the energies to live life, which is why they gaslight, why they breadcrumb, why they do all these things, because they need that energy for their own survival. It's not because they're an evil person. Some will disagree with me, and I know that, but I'm coming at this from a higher perspective because we're all connected. And so for me, it's not that they're an evil person. It's a person that is so traumatized by life. It could be this life, it could be this life and past lives. This is the thing. It can accumulate that they don't feel safe enough to turn on that compassion, to embrace compassion, because when we embrace compassion, we also embrace vulnerability. That they go hand in hand. And of course, if you don't feel safe, you're not going to make yourself vulnerable. But you also need source energy to survive. And this is why many empaths, unfortunately, get tied up with narcissists. Because many empaths themselves have attuned themselves because of this place of not feeling safe, not feeling secure. And so they've attuned themselves to that, and that's absolutely fine. They managed to keep themselves in that place of compassion and a certain level of vulnerability so that they can function through life. But they very often have gone further down. They're not in balance. They've gone further down that level of empath. They're further away from center. And I've talked about this before, and I have done a diagram. So if you imagine that the center is here, and you've got the narcissistic behaviors, and then the full narcissist here, and then the empath coming further and further away from center until they're completely self-sacrificing. Neither are healthy. One's just more hurtful to other people than the other. But even as an empath self-sacrificing, you are not helping people in that mode. You are hindering people because you are very often rescuing. You are very often jumping in and trying to take people's lessons from them, not intentionally, but it happens because you are so in the mode of self-sacrifice that you jump in and you try and be people's saviors. And you're not here to save other people. You're here to hold space for them. You're here to hold compassion for them. You're here to lend them your energy, but you can't lend them your energy if you're in self-sacrifice, because you're not filling up your own cup. You're not in balance. You're not aligned with divine. Is divine still coming to you? Of course, divine's still coming to you, but you're not fully aligned. And so to answer the question that has been coming up quite frequently, actually, the last few weeks, what are my beliefs around dark empaths, and do I actually believe there is such a thing? Yes, I do believe there is such a thing. And I believe that they should be afforded compassion. I don't believe that it should be given another name or another label. Space should be held for them. Do you get involved with these people? Very often not. If somebody's path this lifetime is that of a narcissist, then that is their path. And there is nothing that you can do about that. There is nothing that you should do about that, apart from look after yourself. And it's a big lesson for you. If you're involved with somebody with narcissistic tendencies, or you're involved with a narcissist, then it's not about saving them. It's not about helping them. It's not about supporting them and helping them to heal and retrieve their soul parts. That's up to them. If that's what they want to do, if they decide that they want to do that. But if they're highly up the spectrum, or if they're in full narcissism, they're not going to do that. They're not even going to see that they have a problem, because they are so in their own story. the layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers and layers of protection. And this is what I want to get across, because do you get yourself involved, or do you try and save somebody, or you don't do any of that, but do we call them names, exclude them, think that they're less than? No, absolutely not. They are there. They are not to come into my energetic field, onto my spectrum, because that will take me out of center. That will take me out of alignment with my higher self. My higher self and I are about self-love, self-worth, self-value. And if I'm trying to save somebody that doesn't even want saving, what is that saying about my self-love, my self-value, my self-worth? Those are the questions you need to be asking yourself. Those are the decisions only you can make. But do we ignore that they exist? I don't believe so, because we're all connected. And there are many instances, having had narcissistic relationships, I won't be returning, that's for sure, but I do also hold a level of gratitude, because it was through those relationships that I was able to bring myself into balance. It was through the pain and devastation that I went through that I was able to use those really powerful emotions to give myself a kick start that brought me into alignment, that brought me from self-sacrificing up to my center. It brought me back into center. It brought me back into alignment of who I am and everything that I can actually do. And so I implore anybody to just take a breath, step back and go, okay, if you've been involved with a narcissist, or you're with somebody with very heavy narcissistic tendencies, understand they're coming from a place of pain, but that pain's not yours. It doesn't belong to you. You're not there to heal it. And you're certainly not there to feed it, which is what happens in a lot of these empathic narcissistic dynamics, or dark empath, as the new label that's coming out. There's always something new coming out. They're always changing it. It's just labels to help us understand, to have a different perspective, to really question things. These are my beliefs. These are my opinions. It's up to you to kind of go away, mull it over, really think about what I've said, and then see if it resonates. And if it doesn't resonate, then don't take it. But as I said, that's what I believe to be a dark empath. It makes sense to me because of the way these people do have the ability to read energies and to attune to another's energy very, very quickly. So I hope that's of help. If it is, and you've liked this video, press that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, then press subscribe, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye bye.